Good morning. This is Mock Exam Review 2016-20. This is question number 20 from the mock exam. Let's go through this problem. The measurements for the circuit below are given. So up here we have a voltmeter measuring the voltage drop across the capacitor. This is VRMS voltage, or we call it voltage AC. And we also have the ammeter in series with the capacitor, so we have IRMS. And since it's in series with the capacitor, it's measuring the current through the capacitor. We have a 5-volt power supply, VRMS. And the question is, what is the capacitive reactance? Well, the theoretical formula for capacitive reactance is 1 over 2 pi FC. But we do not have the value of the capacitor. So this is a practical formula. By definition, the theoretical formula for the capacitor gives you the relationship between the voltage drop across the capacitor and the current through the capacitor. Since we have those two measurements, we can calculate the magnitude of XC directly. So we have 4.99 volts, which is essentially 5 volts, and we have 0.346 amperes. If we take 5 volts and divide it by 0.346, let's see what the answer will be. 5 divided by 0.346 gives us 14.45. And the unit for V over I is ohms. So that gives us one answer directly, 14 ohms. But just to be sure, we need to verify whether or not the value of the capacitor is correct. Okay? All right, so we have XC is 14.45 ohms. We're going to substitute that into X. And we're going to multiply that value, or we're going to take that value and divide it into 2 pi f, or take 2 pi f, which is the frequency of 50 hertz, and divide that into 1. That should give us the value of C. On my calculator, I got this value, 2.20, there's a point there, okay, 2.0204. After rounding off, it becomes a 4. And that is multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 4. But remember, we can only use units that are related to engineering. So it has to be either power of negative 3 or negative 6. So if I make this a negative 6, I am essentially making the number smaller on the right, which means I have to make the number larger on the left to compensate. So if I change this from minus 4 to minus 6, I need to move the decimal place to the right 2 times. So the final answer would be 220 times 10 to the power of minus 6. And 10 to the power of minus 6 is the same thing as micro, and the unit is farads. So that corresponds to the second part of the solution. So we have solved for XC1 and the value of C1. So you'll have a problem similar to this during the exam.